Big Dreamers, Katie Reines, your plant-based registered dietitian. I'm so stoked to talk to you today answering a question: how much fat is enough? Do we even need to eat any nuts and seeds? Can't all the whole plant foods, since they do contain all three macronutrients, which are protein, carbohydrates, and fat, do I really need to be eating ground flax seeds and avocado in my diet? Or can I just eat a bunch of bananas all day and call it a day? My answer to this, in short, is I would recommend including some nuts and seeds, but I really want to go further in depth with this. I just want to talk a little bit quickly about fish oil. So, first of all, did you know that plants are the source of amino acids and protein for animals? So all of the animals that we eat, they originally get their amino acids and protein from plant foods, from the sun. They get their energy from the sun. So amino acids, the essential amino acids, are in plants, similar to the essential fats, the essential DHA and EPA fatty acids. The oceans are being super overfished, taking out thousands of fish because we're supposedly in need of this fish oil. Where do the fish get the DHA and EPA? They get it from the plants in the ocean. The algae, the omega-3s in the plants, are converted into DHA and EPA. Our bodies are able to do that as well from plant sources. And did you know that DHA and EPA can be cultured without any mercury or heavy metals or risk, or taking the fish away from the oceans and screwing up all the ecosystems in the oceans, or supporting farmed fish where all the fish are, super packed into these tiny tanks and doused with antibiotics? Not a good thing to support. We should be, if we're going to take a DHA EPA supplement, it should be certainly plant derived from algae, from a reputable source. I just have some notes here I want to say. Yeah, so that's really important to know, that you do not need fish or fish oil. And I want to say some points here as far as making sure that we are able to do the conversion ourselves. There's a lot of things that I want to say. So we need to get omega-3s, right, to get the DHA and EPA, which is really important heart-healthy fats, just essential fats. What are sources of omega-3? This is ground flaxseed, soaked chia seed, hemp seeds, and walnuts. Absolutely amazing. About 2 tablespoons of the flax, chia, or hemp. Those are or, not and. Or like a quarter of a cup of walnuts. And reason being, so this is like kind of a heady thing, but I really want to say, yes, leafy green vegetables, honestly, about half of the fats in leafy greens are omega-3 fatty acids. Even some greens have more than half of their fats are omega-3s. However, you'd have to eat like 30 cups of greens to get that many omega-3s. So I would recommend, supplementing with these ground flax or the hemp or soaked chia. Another important thing to keep in mind is that across the board, for Americans at least in general, most people have a ratio of 10 to 1 of omega-6 fats to omega-3 fats. And this is not favorable. This is not good for our conversion. So when I say conversion, I mean the conversion of omega-3 fatty acids to DHA and EPA. Most people, they eat about a ratio of 10 to 1. So what are omega-6 fatty acids? That's going to be your sunflower oil, your cottonseed oil, corn oil, canola oil, peanut oil and peanuts, olive oil. So all of these, oils are super, super dense sources of fat. And little side note, did you know that having a higher fat diet, so like if your diet is about 40% fat, that's going to decrease your conversion from omega-3 to DHA and EPA a lot. So it's important to keep the fat content in our diet definitely like less than 30%, I would recommend, to really improve your conversion. Wow, it's really dark out now. Sorry, it's like late on a Friday recording a video for y'all. This is just me being nerdy myself. So how do we resolve this 10 to 1 ratio? So ideally, I want to say that most optimal for converting the short chain omega-3s to the long chain DHA and EPA is the ideal ratio of omega-6s to omega-3s in our diet is about a 4-to-1 or a 2-to-1 ratio. We really want to be upping the omega-3s, so there's a few ways to do this. Definitely eating a little bit more omega-3s and a little bit less omega-6s. So that means definitely nixing the oils, definitely eating a lot less oils, concentrated fats, and yeah, incorporating a tablespoon or 2 of ground flax seeds in our diet. And it's also important, like, eating a whole foods, plant-based diet that's and just having optimal health in general is really essential, because we need zinc, we need enzymes, we need proteins to do this conversion. So it's important to be healthy, and I will recommend for sure, if you're pregnant, if you're lactating, if you're frail, if you have diabetes, hypertension, if you're a senior, for sure should be taking a DHA EPA supplement. But I will say that recommendations for the ALA, the omega-3 fatty acids, are only 1.1 grams for women and 1.6 grams for men. And this is pretty low, and so we suggest that if you're not consuming the DHA and EPA forms, if you're eating it in omega-3 form, we're going to double the amount of omega-3s you're getting. So now, to get in, we're going to recommend 2.2 grams for women and 3.2 grams for men. So what does that look like in food? That's literally like 2 to 3 grams. There's about 2 to 3 grams of omega-3s in 1 ounce of walnuts, which is really easily doable. It's 2 tablespoons of walnuts. About 1 tablespoon of ground flax seeds. That's about 2 to 3 grams of ALA, the omega-3 fatty acids. 2 to 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds, 1 to 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. These are really, really reasonable, doable amounts to have an intake that's double of what's recommended. So it's not like anything crazy. It's not like you need to be dousing everything with tons and tons of hemp seeds. It's really just think of it as like a garnish, okay? So yes, we want to have a low-fat diet, and it is essential to include these sources of omega-3s. So making sure we're getting a source of omega-3s from the ground flax, and that I say ground flax seeds because otherwise the flax seeds are just going to come up in the toilet. You're not going to see them. If you want to grind them yourself, keep them in the refrigerator. They're pretty heat sensitive. Soaked chia seeds, the same thing. You should soak them in water or something. Overnight oats are great. Hemp seeds, you can literally sprinkle on anything. I love hemp seeds. Walnuts, I recommend soaking them, but if you don't soak them, that's fine. Not eating too much omega-6 fatty acids, that's really going to decrease your conversion and not be optimal for getting your DHA or EPA, and it's actually going to promote inflammation and other things. Don't consume too much fat overall, so definitely eating whole foods plant-based diet will do this. Getting your whole grains, beans, starches, fruits, veggies, and of course these essential nuts and seeds are amazing. Avocado is great. Keep it to a third of an avocado, don't go crazy, don't be eating avocados all day, lots and lots of avocados, you know what I mean? Try and keep it lower fat. The difference is that avocados are monounsaturated fat, and the ground flax is polyunsaturated, a little bit different, but they're all great, okay? So as long as they're coming from plants, that's for dang sure. Woo! All right. I am really glad that Shabbat Shalom. It's super dark. Let me brighten up my face here. Woo! From my computer. Thank you so much for joining me. Shabbat Shalom. Have a wonderful, happy, healthy life, including those important fats on your whole foods plant-based diet, to reap the benefits and be disease-free and full of energy and inspire the world. Take a deep breath. This may have been overwhelming. Don't be overwhelmed, really. Just have a good time. It's all this life is about. Focus on having more fun, okay? Literally, what's one thing that you can do right now to have more fun? For me, it's upload this video for you. I'm having so much fun. I love researching this stuff. And look up Brenda Davis. I actually got this information from her. She's a dietitian, Brenda Davis. She's amazing. She has written a bunch of books, and I'm obsessed with her. Listen to some podcasts. I've been listening to the Mastering Diabetes podcast, Rich Roll podcast, of course, the man, Dr. Michael Greger, on nutritionfacts.org. Watch all of his videos, and you're gonna rock the world. Ooh, mosquitoes. Thank you for watching. Much love. Bye.